All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Brother Kashakwala.
Karataza.
Coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect and 44 first fruit. As you can see on the title of the lesson, it's How Bad Do You Want It? And me and the brother were just speaking in the spirit beforehand. We were talking a lot about the word consideration.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you consider this truth? Okay? Is it just a little side job for you, a little hustle? Okay? Or is it something that you put first and foremost? All right? The main priority in your life. You know, you can say it all up and down. Oh yeah, you know, the truth comes first, and I set everything around it. But what are your actions saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really proving that to be the case, or is it just something? You know, I just throw up a lesson.
Yeah.
All right, 10 minutes ago. Okay, I'll do 10 minutes on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, you lethargically going through it. How bad do you want it? All ultimately goes in how bad do you want salvation?
Mm-hmm.
Your salvation is gonna come on how much you work for it. If you half-ass it, well, guess what? I said this before. The Lord's gonna give you a half-ass salvation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, He's gonna halfway bring you through it.
Yeah.
And then you fall on the wayside towards the end because that's the effort that you gave him.
Yeah.
Or did you do this as a full go? And the Lord's okay. I'll go full go for you. So how bad do you want it? You know, you want to say something, bro?
I just got a quick precept. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly." You see, so we're not in a time, to be into folly, man. We're in a time to work out our salvation. And how do we work out our salvation? By making this our main priority, man. Not doing it just to say that you're into something or to make you different from the next man. You have to truly believe and understand what you're doing, man. This is a full-time job, man. That you really have to put your best foot forward, man, every single day, man.
I got a quick one too. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 27. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, "Praise no man before thou hearest him speak." It says, "For this is the trial of men." Verse 8. If thou followest righteousness, thou shalt obtain her and put her on as a glorious long road. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're following after righteousness, it's an act. It's an action that you are doing. Okay. So it's the same thing of considering and showing how bad you want something. Hey, there'll be brothers that be on fire. They're just showing how bad they want it, how bad they want to get out of Babylon, how bad they want to get their families out of Babylon. Get on a chariot, things that obtain the glory, the power that the Lord has in store for us. How they're showing us how bad. So it's like the same thing with you. Are you half-assing it?
Right.
Are you giving half-ass lessons? Are you doing the same topics every single day? Are you really trying to be a studious individual and learn more? Push more content out there. The Bible is so vast and versatile. Deep, go into it. Don't just be always talking about the nigger women all the time. Nigger women ain't gonna save you.
Right.
You see? It says, verse 9, it says, "The birds will resort unto her like, so will the truth return unto them that practice in her." You gotta practice it, man. All right? You watch the Kobe Bryants.
Yeah.
You seen the documentary with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Practice was like the main thing in that documentary. He would practice like it's a real-time play, not just a game, not an 82C, a playoff game.
Yeah.
You see?
And that's what made other players really on his team believe on him. or follow him, and that's why he was able to win so many rings because his teammates seen the effort, that he put into their craft, so they wanted to be like it, so they did the same thing. You see, so we have to have that same mindset when it comes to the truth, man. We can't half-ass with this truth, man. We have to get the understanding of the parables, man. The scriptures say, "Let not the understanding of the parables escape thee," man. Roughly paraphrase. So this is what we have to do, man. Don't just don't treat this like it's just like you playing some a rugby game or just kicking a soccer ball, man. Put effort into this, man. And why not? We have a plethora of examples, and even we're going to go through some in this lesson of great men that was before us that actually put forth effort, when dealing with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. You got
Yes, like the brother said, we're gonna show in these accounts how bad these men wanted it. How bad, how much they considered. They understood that, hey, this is life and death.
Yeah.
There was a small clip that was 1:44 long. That Apostle Tahar was like, man, you don't get these breakdown right, or teaching this thing right, the Lord will kill you. This isn't. It's not no game. It's not just for shits and giggles, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? This is the real deal, Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't nothing to play around with. If you're considering this truth, you're considering your life.
That's right.
If you half-assing it, you don't give a damn about yourself. That's really what it is. You don't care about yourself. You have no consideration for your well-being. You have no considerations for the ones who are around you.
Yeah, your loved ones.
Your loved ones.
Yeah.
There's people depending on you.
Yeah.
And you're half-assing their salvation. Possibly. You see?
Yeah. Just for instance, like on our plantation jobs, when these, when our managers or our bosses or whatever make certain, decisions to where, we're losing income or, it hurts our cost of living. And why? Because they don't care about not only you, but they don't care about the people that's around you, man. So we have to have that mindset to where, not only do I care about myself, but I'm trying to save the ones that surround me as well, because this thing, it just don't fall on you, man. Those got families, kids, that's all dependent on us, man. Things get hard, of course, but the point is, man, you gotta keep going.
I got a precept for you, bro.
You got it.
This is Philippians chapter 2. I'll just start at 1. It says, if there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, which means an association with, of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
If I could say, because in the book of 2 Corinthians, I believe it's the 2nd chapter, Paul spoke about how, we had nothing in common except Yahweh Shai, man. You see? So that's supposed to bring us together, man, is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And look at the efforts and the motivation, the love, the faith, the kindness, the mercy that our Lord Yahweh Shai had, man. Are we not, trying to mold ourselves like him? So now you just can't read and just say, oh yeah, I read that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the meat, like we always say, man, get the meat off the bones, man. Get the understanding of what that really meant, man. This is real life, man. This wasn't just no fairy tale story that was just written like somebody was just thinking of stuff, man. This is real life events here, man. So even with the times that's coming, man, the troubling times that's coming, not only the troubling times, but the salvation and everything, man, we have to really understand what's about to happen, man. You got
what if Yahweh Shai didn't take this seriously? We'd be screwed. He understood that what he had to do, and he considered what he had to do was pivotal for the longevity of Israel. You see? Think of it in that case for yourself on a day-to-day basis. All right. Continue for you, bro.
Yeah.
Verse 3. It says, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory."
Meaning that it's not about us, man. You know, it's not about, raising ourselves up, man. It's just for the glorification of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, because we're the ones, who really put ourselves in this situation because we went off prior, by worshiping false idols, making covenants with the heathens, So now is the time where we raise and we glorify Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's not about us. You got it.
It says, "But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves." Verse 4, the last verse, you got it, bro.
Yeah.
It says, "Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others."
See, so you got to fight for that's a part of being a man. A man provides for his family, man. You see, a man goes to work every single day and provides for his family. So they can eat, man. So they won't have to, wonder about where their next meal is going to be from. So the same thing is dealing with the truth, man. Hey, Lord willing, our family members and the people who we love will be saved through our works, man. Because a woman can't go out there to the highways and byways, and teach. They can't, get the understanding that a man is able to get. You see? So you got to do this thing, understand that there's people riding on you, man. You got it.
This is just one example. We got.
I had Genesis, but with Abraham and Isaac. But
I'll give this one example, and we can go
Okay,
to Genesis. We'll
yeah.
start with that. This is one example of a man who showed how bad he wanted it. I'm not saying you got to do this, but this is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 3. It says, "And the Lord said, like as my servant Isaiah hath walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and wonder upon Egypt and upon Ethiopia." So for 3 years, Isaiah exposes himself just to receive one sign. One sign. I'm not saying you gotta go out on West Peachtree, butt ass naked, and get arrested, bro.
Right.
Wisdom, but it's like, are you willing to give up just one day out the week to go on the highways, just one day, and preach, or just give up 10 to 20 minutes to do a lesson, and after the lesson, give up about an hour or so to commit yourself to reading. That's it. You got 12 hours of daylight. You got that long, just 11 hours, whatever you work. You watch YouTube video, play the Xbox, sleep, do what you read, whatever. But just give me one hour just to read my words. You can't do that?
Right.
You can't. You see? Well, but this man right here showed that he just did all this for a sign. Look at Ezra sitting in the field, only eating flowers for 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
To receive a vision and a sign. You gotta consider how bad these men wanted. And then, yes, reading that, look in the mirror. Be like, damn, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Fuck. What did I do today to become better, to become closer to the Lord, closer to my brother?
Yeah.
What did I do? Did I even call a brother any time this week? Say anything? Anything in the group chat? Nothing? Did I pray? Fast? Anything? Consider these things. How bad do you really want it?
Yeah.
All right?
Just to add to the brother's point, because once you continue or strive to do these things, the Lord will continue to sup with you more and more, man, to where you will actually enjoy, the understanding and of the parables, man. Because this thing isn't for everybody, man. So you have to even understand that the thing that we have right now isn't for everybody. You have to take care of that, man. It's like a possession that you have, that nobody else can get, and it means that much to you, man. You ain't gonna just trample over, throw it on the couch. You know,
Mhm.
just when you walk in the door, you just throw it to the side. No, you're gonna actually, care for these things, man. But I had a precept in Sirach chapter 3 in verse 29. It says, "The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man." Attentive to what? Not to the men that's around you, to the scriptures, to understanding, to your surroundings, because we always say this too. The truth is not about who you are when the camera is on, man. You know, it's who you are when that camera cut off and you living your life, man, amongst the people who don't know, man. Like Yahweh Shah, we keep bringing up Yahweh Shah because he's the example, the perfect example of how we're supposed to be. He said that we should be light in the darkness of this world. When you go into Philippians the second chapter, man, that's how we got to be. You ain't gonna be the light in the world when you're not being attentive and considering the scriptures, man. You know,
Okay.
God, I'm gonna grab this account. We all, pretty much know about it. But it still, should resonate with your spirit when you read it. So this is Genesis chapter 24, and I'll start at verse. So like not 24, 22, and start at verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest," which we know that Isaac wasn't his only son, but Ishmael was basically sent away. When you read it in the previous chapter. But it says, "Take now thy son and thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of." So the Most High told Abraham to offer up his son Isaac, for a burnt offering, man. You see, and this is basically the Lord, basically trying, or putting Abraham, through adversity to see where his spirit was, man. Which the Lord put us through the same situations, man. When you read Romans the 12th chapter, it says what? Make your body a living sacrifice. Are you really making your body a living sacrifice? Are you really sacrificing, your family, your jobs, careers, loved ones, in order to save them? You see, you continue reading. It says, verse 3, "And Abraham rose up early in the morning," and it's like, if I can make a point, it was the spirit why the Most High told him to sacrifice Isaac, because we understand that the covenant was through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and not through Abraham, Ishmael, and Jacob. But it says, verse 3, "And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took two of his young men with him and Isaac his son and clave the wood for the burnt offering and rose up and went into the place of which the Most High had told him." So Abraham was preparing himself, man. You see, it says, verse 4, "Then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, Salaki, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you." And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? So Isaac was starting to realize what, Abraham was doing, man. He started to, like, we got the fire and the wood, but where is, the animal for the offering to the Lord? You see, he started to question Abraham. But Abraham's faith, was so high in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that he just had that tunnel vision, man. You know, we always speak about that tunnel vision that we shouldn't. We shouldn't let nothing throw us off of this course, man. Going back to the premises, we have to consider, man. Consider what we're into, man. This account and these accounts that me and the officer Kashikwala are going into, these were real life events, man. You know? But it says, verse verse 8, it says that Abraham said, "My son, the Most High will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering." So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which the Most High had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. So even when, even though, Abraham, was thinking that he was going to sacrifice his only son, he still prepared it as, with cares, so to speak. He laid the wood out. He ain't just, here you go, just, have him dangling by his shirt.
And if I may say, because the brother did mention about Abraham's faith, when you read this account, don't read this as in like, oh man, as Abraham like, man, it's my only son. Mm-hmm. No, Abraham was moving with kind of in a sense, if you would see it like nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hey, come on.
Yeah.
You lay the wood down.
Yeah.
Like that's how abundant. Like, bro, you about to sacrifice your son.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, God.
The Lord told me to. That's how he was moving. That's how much faith he had. I got a precept real quick. Because Hebrews 11 tells you how much faith Abraham had. This is Hebrews 11 and 17. It says, by faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. And it says, when he was tried. Because what in the first verse it says, around the first 7 verses, it says the Lord tempted him. Yeah. Now, we all know the Lord doesn't tempt. When you go into that word, it means to test. No, that's it. The Lord just tests. He tries our faith every single day. All right? So, Christians, whack attacking Christians. Well, the scriptures, because one scripture says that the Lord does not tempt, but it's clearly says it. No, just test them because they don't go into the Hebrew and get the full understanding, like Ecclesiastes, what the prologue tells us to do. It doesn't have the same force. But it says what? When he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he had received the promises, offered up his only begotten son, verse 18, of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That's another thing. Abraham listened. Like, well, the Lord said Isaac was going to be the. So if he goes away, then how? Yeah. So it says, verse 19, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up. That's the faith that, it's like, bro, even if I do this, even if I really go through with it, and, sacrifice my son, meaning his life, his spirit goes into the spirit world. He's sleeping with the father, with his fathers. Even if I do that, I believe the Lord will raise him right back up. But I'm just going to do what the Lord said. Because that's how bad I want it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. All right? It says, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up. He put all his marbles in a basket. Man, that's some faith right there. Yes, all right? Even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. You see? That's the faith that Abraham was working with, and that's the consideration in how bad this is why we're bringing out these accounts. Abraham wanted it so bad, he was willing to give his only son, who carried his seed, would carry his bloodline on. You see? Go ahead, bro.
No, you good, bro. It says, verse 11, and the angel of the Lord, it says, and the angel of the Lord Yahweh called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. And he said, lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. So that's just the faith, and really just letting the Lord really just use you, man. Let the Lord use you, man. Don't resist. Like brothers always say, if the Spirit on you, to do a lesson on a certain topic, do it, man. And do it with humbleness. Understanding what you're going into. And ultimately just letting the Lord work through you, man. Don't resist the Holy Spirit, man.
Force not the course, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to ask Paul, why thou persecute me? And it's hard to kick against the pricks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't kick against the pricks.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's tough. I'm gonna read this script, same Hebrews 11. I'm gonna read verse 32 because we got some accounts. You going to Jephthah?
Yeah, I got it.
It says, verse 32. It says, "And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell Gideon, and of Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, and stopped mouths of lions." These were examples of men who considered Yahweh Shem Yahushua and showed how bad they wanted it. David a king, all right, which and he wanted it so bad. Now he has a position in the kingdom of a prince. When you read, because the king is gonna be Yahushua, and then you're gonna have the prince, which is gonna be King David, man. Like it said, because it says there should be a prince that shall reign, forever in Israel, which is David. And when you read Ezekiel the 37th chapter, okay, he wanted it that bad. Now he got a position.
Yeah.
The 12 apostles, okay, they wanted it that bad. Now they got a position. Okay, you best believe they back now doing their thing. Okay, Samson, a jawbone, wanted it that bad.
Yeah.
He tore down the weak.
Pillars. Yeah.
He didn't have his strength, but wanted it bad.
Yep.
Tore down the pillars.
Moses. Samuel. I believe Samuel prophesied naked too. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was as long as Isaiah did. But Samuel prophesied naked as well.
These men wanted it. So it's like you gotta gauge your spirit off of the scripts when you read it about these accounts ain't in here just for no reason. Like the brother said, this ain't no stories that just happened. Oh, okay, I read it. Noah's Ark. No, like this is something that matters. These are men that showed forth and were the trailblazers to show you how hard you need to work to get where you need to be, how hard you need to work to get salvation and things of this nature. All these men that I listed or that I read got a form of salvation.
Yeah.
Gideon, he got a form of salvation.
Yeah.
David got a plethora. Read 2 Samuel 22 and Psalm 18. Plethora of ways of salvation came towards him. But they got those opportunities for the Lord to show his power because they showed the Lord that they wanted it.
Yep, and those same men are here today, man. Those same men are here today teaching the scriptures, man. We want to the book of Judges, chapter 11, and verse 1.
Well, let's get to the point of it. Start at like 29. Yeah, I think that's when he does it now.
Okay. It's Judges chapter 11 and verse 29. It says, "Then the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh came upon Jephthah, And he passed over Gilead and Manasseh, and passed over Mizpeh of Gilead, and from Mizpeh of Gilead he passed over into the children of Ammon. And Jephthah vowed a vow
Right.
unto.
It's like because Jephthah was about to go fight the Ammonites. All right, go ahead.
It says, and Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord Yahweh, and said, if thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hand, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's.
Right. So like, let me get a quick precept because you got to notice how our forefathers would speak to the Lord.
Yes.
Like straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, like, because it's not in the, they weren't, some people would take that as a form of disrespect.
Yeah.
But how we read it, that's a form of, I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Like how we went into camp last week with Elijah. How he said, if I be a man of God, if I be a man of Most High, let him rain down fire from heaven.
Right.
You know?
It's almost like it seemed like he was telling the Lord.
Yeah.
It is not even the case. He believed so hard, so much that he knew it. Like it's almost like I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because
the faith is up.
The faith was just overflowing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not it wasn't how they're talking to the Lord. Because that's the precept I want to get. I might just quote it for time's sake, but pretty much come to the Lord boldly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
of course, we're all respect and humility, but the Lord is a man. He don't want no punk coming up to him.
Yeah. Yeah, timid.
Timid.
The Lord said he's austere, man.
Right.
You know, speak up.
Right.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
Yes.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
You know, like real talk. That's how the Lord is.
Mm-hmm.
You ever speak to your dad? You probably, I know with my dad, I probably wanted something. I'd be like,
yeah.
Man, spit it out, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to know your parents always want to do things for you.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, with my dad, how it was, just a personal testimony. I mean, I wanted the new cleat because I played football. I wanted the new Nike cleats that came out. I was like, Pop, man. Man, spit it out, man.
Yeah.
You know, he'd get mad at me for it. I'm like, Dad, I want the cleats. That's how I have to talk to him. Like, Dad, hey, man, I saw these cleats, I want them.
Yeah, God.
And then he go, okay, man. I need you to do this, that, and third.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah, God.
You come to your the heavenly Father like, I know you can do it.
Yeah. It's good. You know? Yeah, the scripture say, ask and you shall receive. You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
Kind of continuing back in the book of Judges, chapter 11, verse 30. So like verse 31 says, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's.
So that's the promise. Go ahead.
And I will offer it up for a burnt offering. Mm-hmm. So Jephthah passed over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them. And the Lord delivered them into his hand.
Right. And
he smote them from Arior, even till thou come to beneath, even 20 cities, and into the plain of the vineyards, with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpeh, into his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances.
You gotta remember the vow.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first thing that comes out first.
Yeah,
bro.
Yep. He says, and she was his only child. Mm-hmm. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass when he saw her that he rent his clothes and said, Alas, my daughter, thou hast bought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. So he stood on his word.
He stood on his word.
Yeah.
He considered and he showed, hey man, the officer said it perfectly in the inception of the video. Are you willing to give a career, family, things of that nature to get where you need to be at? You know, just one more testimony. When Shalom to them brothers up in D.C.
Shalom.
I remember Elder Zionala, he was speaking one time. He looked me directly in my eye and asked me a question. He's like, what if you got caught up by Esau and Esau had a gun to your mother's head? What were you going to do? He asked me that straight up. And I was like, I said straight up, you just got to go. And he's like, exactly. He's like, you know what I say? I see you in the kingdom. Because nothing is going to, when you read Romans 8, principalities, power, nothing is coming in between you and the love of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Nothing should. You should be totally umbilical cord cut off from this world to where it's easy to just give anything up for the Lord. And don't compromise anything in your faith, man. That's how it clean cuts from everything. You shouldn't be attached to shit. You know? That shows how bad you want it. The sacrifice you're willing to take. Or give up. It's a give and take, man. You know?
The scriptures say that the Lord is equal.
Right.
You know, just like, when you read the book of Job. Job lost everything, man. But what? The Lord gave him back hundredfold. But it says, verse 36, it says, and she said unto him, my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord Yahweh, do to me according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth.
Right. It's rocking. And this is the moral of both stories. Or not the moral, but one thing that both, let me not say stories, both, I like saying historical accounts had in common of Abraham and Isaac and Jephthah and his daughter is the offspring. They both was with it. Isaac was like, nope. That's all right, no worries. The daughter, she got more integrity than a lot of these men today, man. Oh, you made a vow to the Lord? Hey, so be it. I gotta do what I gotta. You know. You know. Go ahead, brother.
It says, for as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon. And she said to her father, let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. And he said, go. And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her companions and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains. And it came to pass at the end of the 2 months that she returned unto her father, who did with her according to his vow, which he had vowed. And she knew no man, and it was a custom in Israel, that the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite, 4 days in a year.
You see, but that just shows, all that shows how bad they sacrificed things. They gave things up, and they showed how to the Lord how bad they really wanted. Okay, you want it that bad? You want to defeat these Ammonites that bad? All right. I may expect something from you then. If you wanted to get on a chariot and get out of Babylon that bad, well, there's expectations that you have to withhold, or that you have to come up on, you could say. All right. And we ain't even the hard. Hard part yet. If you catch yourself slacking with the expectations right now, well, so when that time comes, man, do these lessons. Broaden your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. Don't be afraid to go into things. Learn the breakdowns. You see? Be around men who compliment you. Be around those who you look up to. Don't just say, man, hey, see you one time a week. I look up to you, brother.
Right.
And don't say a word to him in camp or the whole week, man. That's some bullshit. You ain't really considering. You ain't showing that you really want it. Men, the Lord put men around us to show us how to lead, how to be better men. Man, hit them up at least in a group chat. Ask some questions that they're I don't want to say quote unquote disposal, but bro, they're there for you to use. The Lord gave you knowledge of the scripts for you to teach. Read it. How bad do you want it? Don't half-ass this truth, man. Ain't gonna get you nowhere but a missile sideways up your ass, man. Real shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is a life and death situation. You gotta show the Lord that you want it. You gotta show the Lord that you want it. It's like a Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got anything?
No, you said it perfectly. No, brother said it perfectly. Hey, shalom to the octave that's on the comment board too. The wife chiming in. You know, the Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. We'll go ahead and close out by giving all praises and infinite glory into Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and also putting their lives on the line to do so. Until the next time, we say shalom.